Alrighty, says we're live. Give people a few minutes, or at least a minute or two, to get online. Hmm. Okay. Oh, silent. Silence my phone. Just giving a couple minutes for everybody to get online. For some people, it's been a very relaxed day. For some people, it's been a really hectic day because of the weather. Okay, well, Nancy is here, according to my technology. Let's see. Yes, yes, yes. Very good, very good. Now, why does that do that? I am going to change something around here so I can see what I'm doing. I see. I'm going to put you over there. Okay. Looks like we're all together. All right. Did you know the apostles had a car? It says in the book of Luke they were all in one accord. Good evening. Thanks for being with me virtually. I'm Reverend William. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your cooperation in building and maintaining the sacred space. You know, in spirit, there is no time or space the way we understand it, so we're all here together. Well, you know what? I'm going to chant 3 ohms to kind of get us in the right mood. Opening prayer. Divine oneness of being that man calls God. Ascended masters and teachers. Our own personal guides and overlanding angels. Thank you for coming in close at this time as we gather here together to align our mind with your higher intent, so modest be. Please open to the first page of your book and we will say together the universal greeting. I offer you peace. I offer you friendship. I offer you love. I hear your needs. I see your beauty. I feel your feelings. My wisdom comes from a higher source. I salute that source in you. Let us work together. Now we will say together the 9 principles of spiritualism. We believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. We affirm that communication with the soul called dead is a fact, scientifically proven by the phenomena of spiritualism. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the Golden Rule. Whatsoever ye would that others should do unto you, do ye also unto them. We affirm the moral responsibility of the individual, and that we make our own happiness or unhappiness as we obey or disobey nature's physical and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any human soul, here or hereafter. We affirm that the precepts of prophecy and healing contained in all sacred texts are divine attributes proven through mediumship. All right. So what we're doing tonight, this little presentation on the Lover's card. Well, let me make sure. Okay, yes, I can see the comments there. All right, I'm going to go back to the description in Choosing Love. So here's how I wrote it when I was inspired by my guides to do this. Choosing Love, a meditation on the symbolism and meaning of the Lover's card. To me, focusing on romantic love as the main meaning of this card is a distraction from the deeper significance. In fact, to me, the Two of Cups is more about relationship and romantic love in tarot. We will direct our attention to emotional and mental maturity that leads to clear choices, namely the choice to love. And then I'm going to go to my comment I put below. The lovers, in the card and the symbolism of the lovers, the archetype is the crossroads. The task is making a decision of one's own free will and from the bottom of one's heart. The goal, declaring intense, heartfelt loyalty to one path, one person, one task. The risk, effusiveness, gushing enthusiasm. Feeling in life, feeling how the heart is thrilled, determined resolution. Historically, the Lover's card was the lover. Yes, singular. It depicted a young man between his mother and his beloved. At this stage, he has not yet won the heart of his beloved. This step is simply the opportunity to choose to pursue the beloved. In the spirit of New Year resolutions, what love have you committed to recently? Perhaps a commitment to love to yourself. Okay, that's why one of the major aspects of this card for me is maturity. Now, here's the version you're probably used to. Two people standing there, often described as being Adam and Eve and the tree of knowledge. He has a tree of fire or something there behind him. Angel, often said it's Gabriel there. There's other symbolism here in the tarot at the bottom, how this mountain shows up in other cards, and this landscape here. There's the snake and that tree over there. All well and good. This is from my favorite deck that I use all the time called the Gilded Tarot. Now look at this. There's no land, just air and water, dolphins, and these two people. So to me, the man lifts the woman up because the man's the conscious, the woman's the unconscious. Man's mental, woman's emotional. Man's active, woman's receptive. So it's the job of the conscious mind, the male energy, to direct the attention upward towards the light. That's why he lifts her up to the light. Why are they standing in the water? Water's emotions, air's mental. And there's dolphins, not fish. These mammals that breathe air live in the water. What's wrong with you? Why don't you grow some legs or something? Because to me, this is all about the appropriate use of the mind and the heart. I'd like you to contemplate that. The appropriate use of the mind and the heart. I mean, what else describes maturity in a very general sense more than that? Whether you're a kid, a young adult, old adult, whatever, hopefully you're getting better and better at that. Knowing, I like that word, the appropriate use of the mind and the heart. That's really the best description I have. If you have a better one, let me know. So somehow we're going to get into that in the meditation today. We'll see where Spirit takes us. We welcome your donations to help us maintain our presence in the community. You may donate via our website, circleoflightstl.org, or through our Facebook page. Thank you for your donations. All funds received help us in our mission, which is to seek, develop, and teach the knowledge of the relationship between humanity and spirit. The crystal globe displayed here is filled with prayer and energy for healing Mother Earth and all her children. Everyone is welcome to contribute prayers for world peace and world healing. We invite you to add your energies to this sacred sharing. We will now say the prayer for spiritual healing found on the next page, after which there will be a short silence for you to softly say the names of anyone that you would like to receive extra healing this week. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask the great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and power of God. Thank you again for your donations. Now, a prayer over the offering. Divine oneness, thank you for filling these gifts with your directed wisdom to maximize their effectiveness, so mote it be. Current announcements. That brings us to the message portion of the service. Please actively listen to each message. As these come from universal source via our guides, they may be tailored for the individual, but they deliver wisdom to the whole. Please address questions about messages to the message bearer after the service. To welcome each of our spirit workers, we sing together to raise the vibrations in our circle. We view the word God as a universal term for deity rather than signifying any one particular path. Well, if it's not apparent by now, I will tell you I am the message bearer for tonight. I am certainly not going to sit here and sing by myself. So, can I remember? Yes, I'm going to do that mantra. If you've been here for a while, you may have heard me chant this mantra before. It's a mantra for spirit communication. Well, I'll compromise. I'll sing the mantra the way I learned it a long time ago. Radha Swami Deva Devi, Radha Swami Satnam, 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 Radha Swami Deva Devi, Radha Swami Satnam. Thank you very much. I'm Reverend William. I'll be working tonight with Sarah, Mikael, Thundercloud, Meridin, Arcturus, Ellen, and Two Hearts. All right, Lois. They're showing you we use these examples all the time in everyday life, like peeling back the layers of an onion. They're showing you peeling back layers of an onion, you're peeling these different, like a banana, these different things that have peeling on them, vegetables and fruits that have peeling. Okay, so they're vegetables and fruits, and you're peeling them, and you're not finding what you're looking for. So, whatever you are looking for to come to fruition, to produce for you, let it come. You don't have to look for it. You don't have to keep digging for it. It will produce. It will be evident. There will be a flowering stage, just like in regular, what do you call it? The development of your garden. And the fruit, the produce will come. You don't have to keep looking for it. Who else said? There was Nancy. Interesting. So they're showing you pushing a wheelbarrow full of, doesn't really matter what, something full of something, having a hard time with it. It requires the effort to push forward and balance. There's only one wheel in the front. So you upgrade that to a small excavator, a machine. So whatever load you've been pushing around, and this load, I'm inspired to say, is more about creation. Oftentimes we talk about loads like the Ten of Wands and Tarot, like dragging around the past. This is more about an effort to create, an effort to build something, like construct something. And it's just like, at this rate, it's going to take for frickin' ever pushing this wheelbarrow. So you're going to upgrade, whether it's through your choice or willpower, or if it just comes to you, not sure. But either way, you're going to upgrade to a machine, be much more efficient, much easier on you, a lot less effort on your part to build that which you want to create. Amy M. So maybe I'm gonna tell you first, Amy. The image you're showing me is a freshly paved road, and the feeling with this, the message with this is, yes, sometimes it's obvious. Sometimes Spirit lays it out for you very plainly, so you can see which way to go, what path to take. They will pave the way. Yes, that's true. Sometimes, not so much. So, what is the lesson for you? What opportunity for learning do you have in the situation? It's trusting yourself. Spirit saying, hey, we're not going to always make it obvious. Sometimes you got to learn to trust that you see the path or know the path. Well, how do I do that? What do you mean? Well, first and foremost is stillness. If you've ever hunted or shot a gun, even, I can think of many examples, like sports are good examples too. You'll see the target moving when you hold your head still. Quit moving your eyes and quit moving your head, the target becomes immediately apparent. So that's what I would do if I were you. I would say, okay, the path isn't clear. I'm going to sit here and be still until I see it. And Sure. Sure. Just like the Fool card in tarot, there's going to be times when it does come to you, maybe in just a matter of a few seconds. Other times, you're like, man, I sort of kind of think this is the way to go. I feel compelled or inclined to go this way. Well, start going. It's not a permanent commitment. You can always change. Do the best with what you have, and remember, the situation is a vehicle for you to learn to trust yourself. Samantha. They're taking me to this, man, like, talk about something I haven't thought of in a long time. There's this little, I don't know what you call it, skit or whatever they do, Sesame Street. Okay, Sesame Street or one of those kids shows. Um, there's this, how they personify the letters of the alphabet. There's this M. The M's going, melon, money, and each thing begins with M. So if there's a question in your mind, when you ask for a message, if you have a question, I would definitely look at that letter M if it represents a name of a person or place or thing. But also, if you study the law of attraction even just a little tiny bit, one of the first things you realize is gratitude is the key. So to say, I love what you're bringing to me, is a certain way to get what you want, basically. William E. Interesting. You're in a theater running the film projector. And my perspective, or I should say, you are like balancing between being in the audience and being back here in the booth running the projector. And there seems to be a complaint on your part that, oh, it's hard to watch the movie while I'm running the projector. Okay. So consider this, William. The film and the process of projecting it. There's some interesting little symbolism in here. First of all, it has to do with imagination, the way you use your imagination. And we often think of an artist being inspired, and composers, art, all artists from all types of art have talked about this. And I remember seeing a interview with Carlos Santana. Oh gosh, like around maybe the mid '90s in Rolling Stone magazine. He said, "When I'm up there playing, it's not me playing. It's Miles Davis. It's Jimi Hendrix." So he basically said he channels spirit when he plays guitar. I wonder if William can do that, even if it's not Jimi Hendrix or Beethoven or Van Gogh. Maybe it's just, your own spirit guides, your own muse, whatever your muse is. So you don't have to like this also resonates with what I said about the Lover's card and the appropriate use of the mind and the heart. And that is the active and the passive, the active and the receptive. Sometimes you want to be in the audience receiving, like receiving messages, receiving inspiration, listening to your muse, letting your imagination be inspired. And sometimes it's putting the picture on the screen. I'd also contemplate that word project. because until, ooh, that's a good one. That's very interesting. So how do I say that? I'm gonna speak first person. Until I like, until I release the things I think I know, I am only projecting that onto the screen or paper or script or sheet of music or whatever. So, so here's the process. Sure, now that I see that, I see it right. I see it everywhere. You know, one so check this out. You like let's stick with one work of art. So let's say movies. You want to be a filmmaker, producer, director, whatever. You're going to learn skills first. How to make film. And the inspiration uses those tools. You got to have the tools. Now, sometimes the tools aren't all that necessary, just like there's a thing in spiritualism called automatic writing. I don't have to be a novelist. I don't have to ever study how to write. Spirit just moves my hand and I write whatever spirit gives me. Okay, that's cool. But for what you're doing, what they're saying here is you have the skills, the tools in your toolbox, and spirit works through you to utilize those. That's what I would do if I were you. Okay, Veronica. This image reminds me of what we did. Was that just last week? Recently, I led a meditation on the high priestess. It was all about receptivity. So here's where I am, Veronica. I'm behind you, watching you walk down this long hall. It looks like something out of a fantasy or a movie or something. These big, it's huge, tall, kind of like a cathedral or castle, but not really. It's what's important is it's kind of intimidating. This really big, tall. Well, we're in a hallway of like columns and stuff. Anyway, but the message here is you keep walking. It's like going into the cave. You know, like okay, again, active and receptive. Yes, the high priestess requires you to be receptive and be quiet and listen. But you got to go to her first. Well, that's true too. I say first, but really it's I proceed forward, I receive, then I proceed forward and I receive, I proceed forward and I receive, I proceed forward, and so like I can receive what you have at this stage, then I can proceed forward, and so on and so on. So there are stages, steps, literally and symbolically in this case, steps towards the wisdom you seek. And it might seem, I don't know, intimidating, not what you expected, scary even sometimes, but just keep going. Carmen. Carmen is showing you like Superman in the old Superman comics, like tearing the top off of a tank, like a military tank, and pulling the guy out of it. Um, so whatever battle you've been in, the truth and who's behind it, who's like driving the tank, if it's not already being revealed like right now, very soon, and under your power, your will, you're the one ripping the tank open. Um, ha 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 ha. Oh boy. So there might be an outside. You might be in conflict with a person or a situation. Yes, that's true. But also, then we go to the image in the Star Wars Return of the Jedi when Yoda instructs Luke to go into the cave, and this is also it doesn't really matter. What matters is he instructs Luke to go into this cave. It's like the Jungian cave, so you like this. So Yoda instructs him to go to the cave, and Luke picks up his little belt with his lightsaber and stuff, and Yoda says, "Weapons you will not need." And Luke basically says, "Well, I'm taking them anyway." So he goes in the cave, and it's really tense. It's dark, and eventually, because it's his cave, who's he see in the cave? Darth Vader. And he just, without even thinking, just reflexively draws out the lightsaber, whoom, lops his head off, and the helmet falls off of Darth Vader's head. Whose face is it? His own. So, yes, there would be a revelation of who's behind it, and another revelation for you will be your part in it. Karma. Karma for Carmen. Sherry H. Sherry, there's a skit from SNL from the like 70s, I think, with John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd. And maybe you've seen it. It's the hamburger, 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 cheeseburger, cheeseburger, cheeseburger. No Pepsi, Coke, Coke. No Coke, Pepsi. Pepsi, 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 Pepsi. And it's kind of like Abbott and Costello. The whole thing's based on misunderstanding and miscommunication. And it becomes just a fiasco of this grill full of hamburgers and cheeseburgers, and it's a mess, all because of some very basic, like, who's on first type of dialogue. Um, so step out of it. Like, realize what's going on, and maybe, in fact, I feel like you already do this. Maybe there's a situation in which you have not applied this philosophy yet, but um, you have the awareness to um, realize that, whoa, we are not on the same page. I'm gonna step out of this dialogue until we can get our minds together here and communicate. Uh, somebody has to be the first one to do that. Rebecca, did you get it? I don't think you got one. Yes. Okay. Rebecca. Okay, Rebecca. They're showing me a video of Bruce Lee playing ping pong. Now, how do I say this? Because he's having a ton of fun. If you know anything at all about Bruce Lee, you know he's extremely focused. So you can, in any endeavor, Rebecca, be extremely focused and have fun. If you have questions about how to do that, you can ask me if you want. I think if I were you and I had questions about it, I'd just go to YouTube and look up the video Bruce Lee ping pong. It'll come up right away, and it's awesome to watch. Anyway, his skill is incredible. But why, besides I'm a Bruce Lee fan, why ping pong? It's a game. It's not a battle. It might be a competition, But ultimately, it's a game. It should be fun. So if you're in a situation that you don't like, if it's tense, I would, if I were you, I'd ask myself, what's my intention? Why am I doing this? Do I want to continue doing this, playing this game, being in this ping pong competition? Is it a practice? So so we're looking at the mental focus while still having fun, and also discipline. And remember, the root of discipline means to be a disciple of something. So if I were you, I would ask, what am I committed to? What am I a disciple of? Carmen, love Bruce. Oh, good. Awesome. And it's funny how Spirit does that with the symbolism. You know, she loves Bruce Lee. Okay. I think I got everybody in the comments. All right. Thank you for allowing me to stand between two worlds. And guess what? That brings us to the meditation. Is there anything else I need to say about this? I don't think so. Let's just get right to it. We welcome you to find a comfortable position to sit in, lay down if you like, as long as you can stay awake. And you know, when practicing meditation, sometimes you might be tired, you might be sleepy, and you might fall asleep, and that's okay. What I've learned is you'll get out of it exactly what you need. Trust your guides, trust your higher self, trust your intuition. You'll receive exactly what you want. Knowing that, give your body permission to relax. Even though we may not be in physical proximity to each other, our guides and teachers set this space together for us to have this experience. As you allow your body to relax, give your attention to your breath. Observe your breathing. As your body relaxes and your breathing becomes gentle, notice that your mind and thoughts soften. Your heart is at ease. And you find it easier to turn your attention inward and further inward and further inward. You find that your attention goes to the center of your being. This is in the area of your heart. See here your light, your true essence. This deep relaxation in all areas of your being attracts the attention of your higher self. And your higher self comes in above your head and connects with that flame in the center of your being and expands that light throughout your entire body, all the way down to the soles of your feet, out to your fingertips and up to the top of your head, and expanding that light just beyond your body, filling that field of energy we call the aura, to establish and maintain this space for this inner experience. As this physical, emotional, and mental relaxation gets deeper and deeper, you find yourself in a place of natural beauty. Maybe familiar, maybe not, it doesn't matter. What matters is this is where your higher self wants to be right now. And to harmonize with this inner space, just focus on the beauty of this place. Let yourself sense the beauty of this place, the visual, what you see, what you feel, whether it's a breeze or the sunshine on your skin, what you hear. Yes, how your feet feel on the ground. Let those feelings well up inside you, appreciating, having gratitude for the beauty around you. As you are doing that, you might realize this is one of the important steps in the process of understanding and knowing love. Perhaps in this stillness and quiet, with this feeling of gratitude filling you, perhaps now you feel compelled to move along. Where does your soul long to be? Where does your higher self direct you? You might be invited into the ground itself, into the earth. You might be invited to look at something in the past or even the future. Whatever it is, decide in your mind and in your heart that this is your next step to love. What's between me and a pure understanding of love is whatever my guides and teachers, my higher self, shows me. And perhaps you'll even be inspired to do something about it right now, to heal that, to gain understanding of it, to love this part of yourself. Remember to be a good observer. Observe with your senses, with your mind, with your heart. Perhaps you are even ready for an upgrade. Upgrade old ideas to new understandings. For instance, oftentimes people speak of falling in love, but what they are denying is their role in the choice to love. If they are falling in love, they are doing it they are choosing unconsciously, without self-awareness. Continue to be a good observer. How do you feel about it? What do you think about it? Remember, there's no such thing as wasted time. It all has value. Every iota of every experience has value. If you don't see value in it, try looking at it with fresh eyes. now begin bringing these things back home. Perhaps you'll develop the intention to integrate these right away. Bring these things into your active waking life. Whether it's a part of you, a simple understanding, perhaps something more complex. You can just be assured that your life will improve because of the work you've done here today. And you, of course, know you can repeat this on your own anytime. So decide with me now, all of us together, to bring yourself into your current reality, into the body you've chosen for this time, your vehicle. Bring yourself back to the here and now, all the way down to the soles of your feet, out to your fingertips and up to the top of your head. And when you're ready, please open your eyes. That was interesting. What's fun for me about this is because of the modern technology, I can go back and be led in my own meditation. So, hope you enjoyed that, and do it again. I love this. I love having this technology here that allows me to repeat this in my own place and time. Until then, let's have a closing prayer. I'm sorry, I'm just inspired to say one more thing that I've been doing this for a long time. This is 2024, so over 25 years, 30 years, just about. Where I've focused, developed my mental focus, and then on meditate, do other these kind of things. And so I'm observing where my attention is going after I come back. I'm really focused on my body, which is not normal for me. Really feeling this spreading through my chest and the muscles of my chest and into my arms. Like I really just want to shake this and be loose and do that and breathe deep. And thank you all for being here. I have the fortunate position to be in to lead this, but I get to be here with all of you, and I really appreciate that. So with that being said, closing prayer. Divine oneness of being that man calls God, thank you for your inspiration and guidance today in all of your forms. Thank you for overlying our individual and collective path as we move forward from here, so mote it be. So, peace to you all, peace and love, and I'll see you soon.